Hello everyone, welcome back to Atreyu Crochet. So in today's video we will be continuing on with our crochet sock. In last week's video we crocheted the heel portion of the sock. So today we will be moving on. We're going to connect these edges and maybe even finish up this sock today. So yeah, let's get to it. So we're going to take our heel, remember it was like this, right? And pretty much we're done with the blue for now at this point. So let's close that, chain one, cut our yarn, put the blue out of the way, and then fasten off. We're going to take the same blue yarn. I guess you could take orange if you want it, but we want it to be pretty seamless. So we're going to take blue, just take out some like that, cut your yarn, just cutting a little piece. And now we're going to take our darning tapestry weaving needle and we're going to feed this through like so. And just tie a couple of knots, not super tight, but just so that it stays on to the darning weaving tapestry needle. Okay, so the goal here, you guys, is to connect this edge with this edge and to do the same thing on the other side, to connect that edge with that edge. Okay, so let's start with this side. Move that tail out of the way. Alright, so you can take your darning weaving tapestry needle and just kind of, actually I'm going to go from the inside, so many tails, I'm going to go from the inside and come out like that, just somewhere in that corner. And then I'm going to pull it almost through with my crochet hook, like that, leaving a little bitty tail right there, okay? And then in that very corner right there, I'm gonna stick it back through. Alright, so now I have that little loop there. Now I'm going to tie a couple of knots. So one, like that, and then two. So I've secured the yarn to the sock, and now I'm going to line up the edges. Now there are many ways that you could go about connecting this edge with that one, but I am going to bounce back and forth from each side. So you see I'm on this side, so I'm going to go through the edge here like that and just pull it through. And now I am going to go to the other side over here, and I'm going to go from the top down like that and pull it through like that. Get that tail out of the way, and as you see, as you pull it tighter, it will start to connect them. Okay, now working from this side, I go back to the other side and just go through the edge, somewhere progressing along the edge, and pull through. And then same thing on the other side, a little bit higher like that, pulling all the way through. Okay, and as you continue to do this, it's going to bind the edges together. Okay, so just keep working each edge, going back and forth on each side until you get to the very end. Like that. On this side, just go through the edge, pulling, and then to the other side, like that. Other edge. That tail, it's so in the way. And then the other edge. And make sure that as you line it up, they line up well, okay? It should be even. Then this corner, there. And then one more over here, right there. Okay. And so now we've connected that side, okay? So we will bring our yarn, so just take it through a stitch so that it's on the inside, like that. Pull it through. And if we turn this around and we're on the inside, we can just weave it through another stitch, a nearby stitch. Like that, and then bring the yarn, the needle, through the loop just to tie a little knot, like that. Now we will cut our yarn. Okay. And we can weave these two tails in later. So this side is done. Now we need to do the same thing with the other side. So we still have our darning weaving tapestry needle with the blue yarn on it. So I want you to do the exact same thing on this edge, okay? Starting here, tying a little knot, and then working your way up to connect to here. I will meet you once we get back there. Alright, you guys, I'm working on this other edge, and I just want to show you something right quick. So once you get comfortable doing this, you can work it in one swoop. So I came out over here, right? So what I mean when I say work it in one swoop is I can go through over here like I've been doing, and then go back to the other side and come out there, and then pull it all through. And this is what I mean by doing it in one swoop, like that. Instead of going in here, pulling like that, and then going to the other side and pulling like that. I broke it down like that for you before just to show you what's really going on, but once you get comfortable doing it, you can just go in one side and come out the other side and then pull like that, okay? Alright, and then we are back at the beginning. Okay. Once again, stick your needle in your work so that it shows up on the inside. Now, find just a nearby stitch. Stick your needle through. And then before you close the loop all the way, bring it through the loop, so that you, when you do close it, create a little knot, like that. Now we'll cut this yarn. And all these little tails you can weave in, but now you have successfully closed up both edges, okay? This method, it made it a little bit more seamless, right? Versus this side, you're kind of doing a loop, and I kind of like that look as well. So it's all a matter of preference, but now you have options. Alright, so remember at the beginning of probably the first video when I was showing you everything that you would need for this tutorial, I told you that you needed a stitch marker. Well, I totally forgot that I used that stitch marker to hold the loop for this orange before I switched to the blue. Remember, we didn't cut the yarn, and I had a loop, and I meant to use the stitch marker there, but it's not absolutely necessary, as is evidenced by the fact that I did not use it. But that was where I could have used it. So that loop, it's disappeared now, but it doesn't matter. The orange is still attached, and the orange is what we're going to use now. So you'll notice that in round, and now we're going to be working in rounds again. So I went back from rows to rounds. Round 43, it says with secondary color, which is this, for me, orange. It wants us to chain one and single crochet into each space, ensuring that you have 36 stitches. Okay, so right here, this is where I'm going to be starting, okay, because my yarn is here. So I'm gonna chain one, and then basically I want to make sure that there are 36 stitches around here. This is the round. Okay. Now we already know that we should have 18 stitches right here, just from that back blue part alone. So we're gonna need to space out 18 stitches on the front and that side as well. Alright, so let's do this. So we're going to insert our hook just into that corner, yarn over, pull through to the front, and then that will be our chain one. Alright, let's start working these single crochets. So just one in every stitch and space, making sure that by the time we get back here we have a total of 36 stitches. Alright, so just pull through, try not to snag on any of your stitches, pulling through cleanly. Okay, that's one, that's two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and actually these tails, if you want, you can crochet over them, the ones that are on the top like that. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and then in this last stitch 18. So as promised, you would have 18 stitches for that blue section, and now we just need to spread out 18 stitches from here back around to there, okay, because this is where we started. So I am going to cut this tail down a little bit, and then I'm going to crochet over it so that I have less weaving to do at the end. Alright, so now just find, convenient spots where you can insert your hook to create these next 18 single crochets so that you have a total of 36 by the time you get back around. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm just going into the stitches and in the spaces. 5, so like there, between there. There's that chain. I'm not gonna try to go into the chain. I'm just gonna go in the space. 6. Now I'm going to go into that half double crochet. 7, 8, 9. Alright. And then at this point, you know you only have 9 more single crochets to make, so you can kind of try to plan it out so that they're spread out nicely between here and here when you get back here. So let's count. I know I need 9 more, so I could put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so they're too close because it doesn't make it back. So let's try it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, that one will work. So I'll just be mindful of where I'm placing my single crochets. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, 6. We'll put 7 there. And then 8 will go here. And then 9 will go there. So those are all 36 stitches, okay? And now I'm going to slip stitch to that beginning stitch, which is there. Okay, just yarn over, pull it through. By the way, that stitch right there, that's that chain 1. Okay, and then pull all the way through. Alrighty, so when you complete round 43, which is what we just did, we went around here, make sure that you have 36 stitches. Now we move on to rounds 44 and 45. But guess what? Remember this pattern that we were doing back here with the fans? Okay, we're going to go back to that. So round 44 will be round 8, and then round 45 we're going to do what we did in round 9. So just in case you thought you were done with this pattern, no. We got to do it again. Alright, so returning to what we did in round 8, we're supposed to chain 1. Alright, so we've chained 1, and it says single crochet in the next stitch, but after having worked through this, I think it means to put the single crochet in the same stitch. So I slip stitched into that stitch, and that's where I'm going to put my first single crochet. Now I have to skip a stitch, so I'm going to skip that next one, and in this stitch right here, that's where I'm going to put my 3 double crochet. So 1, back in there, 2, come back in there, 3. Okay, now I'm going to skip that one and go here, and that's where I'm going to add my single crochet. Skip stitch, go there, and that's where I'm going to put my 3 double crochet, my fan. 1, 2, 3. Skip that stitch and go here and add my single crochet. Skip that stitch and go there and put my fan, my 3 double crochet. 1, 2, 3. Skip that stitch and go there and add my single crochet. Okay, and just continue on with this pattern, alternating between single crochet and the 3 double crochet. Don't forget to skip the stitches in between. I skip that stitch, I skip that one, 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 so on and so forth. You're going to work this pattern all the way around, including in these front stitches, okay? And I'm going to meet you once we get back here. Alright, so I ended with the fan, and then I have one more stitch which I skip, and I'm going to go back to this first single crochet and slip stitch into it. So enter the stitch, the top of it, yarn over, pull all the way through. Now moving on to round 45, we're going to do what we did in round 9, which is to start out by chaining 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And now we're going to put our first single crochet in that center double crochet there. Okay. Alright, now we're going to chain 1, and we're going to put a half double crochet in the valley. Remember that dip? So yarn over, go into the single crochet there, yarn over, pull through to the front, 3 loops, yarn over, go all the way through. Chain 1, single crochet at the peak in that center double crochet there, 1, 2, 3, that's the center. Chain 1, half double crochet in the valley there, in that single crochet there. Yarn over, go all the way through. Chain 1. At the top of the peak, which is, at the top of the peak, which is there, we're going to put a single crochet. Chain 1. And then in this valley, in that single crochet, we're going to put a half double crochet. Yarn over, go all the way through. Chain 1. Okay, so just continue in that fashion, and I'll meet you once we get back here. Okay, so we are back around. So we're back at the fan, and in that center stitch we put our single crochet, and now we're going to slip stitch to this first chain. Remember, there's the chain 4, so we're just going to go into the first chain there. And you know, I like to get 2 loops on the crochet hook when I enter the chain this way. So like that. Let's see, 1, 2. Okay. And then just slip stitch to join. So now we're going to go back to the color that we used for the toe. For me, that's blue, so I'm going to grab my blue yarn and just hook it on to the crochet hook. I like to go that way and then pull through, and then pull on the orange so that that loop disappears, and then I'm going to tie a knot between the orange and the blue. A couple of knots. 1, 2. Alright, now I'm going to cut the orange and the blue together. So go down like that. So the orange is now off to the side, and I'm working with the blue. And this takes us to round 46. So we're still working in rounds. And actually we're going to be working in rounds for the rest of the project. Alright, so it says to chain 2. I can do that. 1, 2. So I chain 2. And now it says to do a half double crochet in each stitch and then join with a slip stitch in the beginning chain. So I'm already telling you right now, this is the chain 2. That's going to be the beginning chain, that first chain there. So remember that when we get back around. Alright, so let's do a half double crochet in every stitch. So I slip stitched into that first chain out of this chain 4. So let me just put a half double crochet into every one of those chains. Alright, and because I want to crochet over these tails, I'm not going to enter the chain stitches with these half double crochets. I'm instead just going to go into the space so I can crochet around the tails. Okay, so I have 3 chains here. That means I'm going to need 3 half double crochets in this space. So yarn over, group everything together like that, and then enter in there to create your half double crochet. Yarn over and go through all 3 loops. 2 more. Yarn over, enter the space, yarn over, pull through to the front, 3 loops, yarn over, go through all 3. 1 more. Enter the space, yarn over, pull through to the front, yarn over, go through all 3 loops. And I can do more to conceal that if necessary later. But those are the 3 half double crochets for those 3 chains. And now I'm just going to continue putting 1 half double crochet into every stitch. So the single crochet, I will do that, and then in this space, half double crochet, and then in that half double crochet, I'm going to put a half double crochet, and then in that chain 1 space, I'll put a half double crochet, Into that single crochet, I'm going to put a half double crochet. Into the chain one that comes after that, I'm going to put a half double crochet, and so on and so forth. So continue working around in this fashion, and I will meet you once you get back here. Don't forget, we're going to slip stitch into that chain one there. That's the first chain. Alright, so I have one more stitch, this single crochet that's sitting at the top, at that peak, and I'm going to put a half double crochet in there. So just enter the stitch, 3 loops, yarn over, go through all 3, and now I'm going to slip stitch into that beginning chain for that row there, yarn over, pull all the way through. This takes us to our final round, which is round 47. We have to chain 2, 1, 2, and we're going to put a front post half double crochet around the next stitch. So this time we're actually going to mean our next stitch. So this is the next stitch, it's that half double crochet. And so the way you do a front post is to enter from the front to go around to the back and come out the front, right? That's the way you do a front post. But because this is a half double crochet, you're going to yarn over first. Now go from the front to the back and come back out to the front on the other side. Now we yarn over, pull all the way through, back out the way you came. That leaves us with 3 loops. Of course it does, because it's a half double crochet. And then you yarn over and you go through all 3 loops. And that is a front post half double crochet. So in this next stitch right there, we need to do a back post half double crochet. With the back post, you take your hook and you come from the back to the front and then to the back, so around the stitch and to the back, out like that, going to the back like that, okay? But of course, because this is a back post half double crochet, we have to yarn over first. So we yarn over, here's the stitch, we're going to take our hook from the back like that and enter the stitch. So from the back, come out, and then on the other side of the stitch we're going to go towards the back like that. So this is what it's going to look like, okay? And then you're going to yarn over, and then you're going to pull your crochet hook through, once again leaving you with 3 loops on your crochet hook, which is what it should be because it's a half double crochet. You're going to yarn over and you're going to go through all 3 loops, okay? And that is a back post half double crochet. In the next stitch, we're going to go back to the front post half double crochet. So yarn over from the front, go to the back, and come around and back out to the front on the other side of that same stitch. Yarn over and pull your crochet hook back out the way you came. 3 loops. Yarn over, go through all 3. Now we go back to the back post. Yarn over from the back, come out to the front, around and back out to the back on the other side of it. Yarn over, pull all the way through, going back out the way you came, leaving you with 3 loops. Yarn over, going through all 3 loops, okay? So we're going to keep alternating between front post half double crochets and back post half double crochets. So the next one is front, all the way through. Next one is back, all the way through. Next one is front, all the way through. The next one is back. The next one is front. The next one is back. And it's creating a ribbing. Front, coming from the back, back post half double crochet. 3. Give you a different angle. Front, the yarn is getting thick for some reason. And back, different angle. So back like that, and pull it through. 3 loops. Yeah, that's very odd. My yarn just got thicker. That might happen. That's happened to me before with different skeins of yarn that I've been working with. See how thick it is? And now it's gone back to normal. So just crochet like you would normally. Just crochet through it. It's just an inconsistency in the yarn. Back post half double crochet. One more. Front post half double crochet. Back post half double crochet. And I lost it. Back post half double crochet. 3 loops. Go through all 3. Okay? So just continue working on front post, half double crochets, and back post, half double crochets, and I will meet you once we get back to the beginning, which is there. Alright, so I ended with a back post half double crochet, and I'm back to the chain 2, and I'm going to slip stitch into that very first chain there, the bottom chain. Alright, now I'm going to chain 1, cut my yarn, fasten off, and this is the sock. So obviously we have some tails to weave in. We've got a few things to clean up or whatever. We can cut that tail down. That's one of the tails that we crocheted over, and see, we can clean that up a little bit, just cutting that down so it doesn't peek through the orange. Alright, so let me clean this up a little bit and then I will meet you back here. Alright, you guys, I have cleaned up my sock, weaving in all the tails and dealing with the colors that are poking through where they shouldn't. And so this is what you have. I thought it was really cute that it said after you've weaved in all the ends, don't forget to make 2. Well, Stacy, I have not forgotten to make 2. Here's the other one. And I just thought it'd be really cute to kind of have mismatch socks. So here are my 2. And yeah, I can't wait to put them on. So hopefully you guys now have a better understanding of how to crochet socks, and hopefully it helped to do this in sections. So starting out with the toe, then working through the body of the sock, and then crocheting that separate section for the heel, okay? Joining it so that it is molded the way you need it to, and then finishing off the top. So I really love these. I'm really excited for this tutorial. I hope you guys like it. Don't forget to hit the like button if you do like this crochet tutorial. And thank you once again, Stacy, for providing us with this free crochet tutorial. These are some really awesome socks. If you guys want to see more crochet videos from me, definitely don't forget to subscribe. And yeah, that's going to be it for this video. But you know, I'll see you in the next one. In the meantime, happy crocheting.